What did kratom do to you, brother?
Well, it's good to be with everyone today. I know this is probably you're pretty excited. We're doing two in 1 week, two press conferences in 1 week, so pretty exciting. Now, I do have a teletown hall that I'm doing at 5:30, so I'm gonna. We might not get the full press conference experience, so I want to apologize to the media. I know how much you like that. But no, I just wanted to talk about today's legislative calendar. It was very disappointing to see every Democrat vote against our bill to ban kratom. You guys probably know that 8 other states have banned kratom
8.
completely, including Alabama, Arkansas, Indiana, Wisconsin, which we share borders with, Rhode Island, Vermont, and Connecticut. They've banned it completely. We know that kratom is a very deadly drug that can be found in all over the place. It can be found in the drugstores. It can be found all over. It's very addictive, and it's killing a lot of people all over the country and here in Michigan. And so it's important that we ban the kratom, get it out of these liquor stores and drugstores, and ensure that that our people are safe, our kids, but also, many people. This is very similar to heroin and a lot of other opioids, and so just being able to get this on the counter over at the liquor store is a very bad thing, and that's why we want to ban it, because we want to protect not just kids, but all kinds of people. I mean, we've heard stories of people who maybe they were struggling with an opioid addiction and they started using kratom because they thought it was natural, and then they got hooked on it and died. And you can hear story after story about that. It's a very sad thing. I'm proud that the Republican caucus came together, stood up to the lobbyists, and pushed that through over the line today into the Senate. So we're one step closer to banning kratom, getting this poison out of our state, and protecting many lives. And so I wanted to, I have up here with me Patty Wheeler, who her son died from kratom, unfortunately, very tragic. And she started a foundation called A Beautiful Life Stolen. So we're going to have her talk for a couple minutes. But first, I wanted our bill sponsor, who's been working very hard on this, Cam Cavett, just to talk about it for a few minutes. Go ahead, Cam.
Thank you, Speaker. Wow, we got it across the finish line today. It's really disappointing that we didn't get a single Democratic vote today to help us with that. But, I started out on this when a constituent reached out who lost her son, Dakota, to kratom. She's a Sioux tribal member, and she started telling me about how this was done. So we looked into it and realized the large focus of this market is geared towards children. They market this towards children. It comes in candy. They make it in cotton candy flavors. They make powders to put into drinks.
That's 708, buddy.
A lot of this comes from Southeast Asia and particularly China. And it's illegal in China. They don't let their citizens use it, but they import it over here.
What?
So I just don't feel that's proper. I think there's ulterior motives there. That's certainly, but our children are dying. The numbers aren't necessarily accurate right now, but as more coroners are finding this happening, they're screening autopsies, and the more autopsies that they do, they're finding out that kratom was the cause of death. So I'm proud to be able to sponsor this bill today, and thank you all for being here. I'm going to let the speaker talk. Thank you.
Great, yeah, and so now we'll bring Patty up here. I know this was a very emotional day for Patty. She's gone all over the country and advocated in other states about the dangers of kratom. And it just happened she was here today while we were moving this bill, and so I wanted her to have the opportunity to give her thoughts on the bill today and the problem overall of kratom. So welcome, Patty. Great to have you here. Yep.
Thank you, Speaker Hall. Wow, this is a very emotional day for me. I never imagined myself to be an advocate. in 2022, October, I lost my twin son, Wyatt, to kratom. And he was with his twin brother when it happened. And my journey took me to produce a documentary, a film about kratom. And it is not a film to evoke outrage. It was a film to request attention. We needed transparency, we needed awareness, and we needed proper labeling. Michigan today did an unbelievable thing. I have been honored to be with Utah, Virginia, Connecticut, now in Michigan, supporting such a law, a ban. This needed to happen. Everyone needed to take a pause. Real lives are being lost because of kratom. And no matter what is said about mixing kratom, if you take a Zyrtec and then you use kratom, you should not lose your life because of that. People deserve to know what they're putting in their body, and they need to know before it goes to market. We have a right for that information. We need not put lab coats on our gas station attendants and our vape store operators. That is not a position for them. So when you're using kratom for a medical reason, it should not be allowed to be sold in our stores. And I just thank you, and I thank you for writing this bill. And again, I'm in shock. I did not expect to be here, but I am so grateful that I shared this and was able to feel the presence of Wyatt. I know that he is with this vote, and it was very necessary. Thank you.
Yeah, well, of course.
So you telling me it went
Any
through with
questions
nobody
for us
testifying?
about the bill? Well, I got Patty up here. All right. Yeah, go ahead, Beth.
So this is, I haven't reviewed the bill very, this is an all-out ban.
Correct, yes. It's an all-out ban.
Is there any kind of future consideration
No.
of regulation of it, or is it just, are they just holding it?
Well, we're banning kratom. I think if you're, now in the bill, we're banning kratom. You probably know that the FDA has found no legitimate use for kratom, no medical benefit for kratom. The amendment we adopted today by Phil Green would open the door if there is, if the FDA does someday find some kind of benefit to kratom, then to the extent that there is a medical use for kratom, then it would be allowed for that purpose. All synthetic kratom would be banned. All of the regular kratom would be banned unless there was a medical use that the FDA determined that there was a use. Now, right now, there is none. The FDA does not find any use for kratom. And in reality, I think it's being used, you know, they kind of market it as natural, but what we're finding, and maybe Patty, you want to add to this, we're finding that it's very addictive, whether it's in the synthetic form or in the regular form, it's very addictive, and maybe you can talk more about that in a second. And that's why we're trying to ban it. And many people, they take it, they start taking it because they think it's natural, but they're not taking natural kratom, they're taking very bad kratom. And so I know that some of the lobbyists up in Lansing, they try to argue there's good kratom and there's bad kratom. That's just a ridiculous argument. That doesn't resonate in our districts. I mean, people all over Michigan are seeing a lot of people, whether they're kids or adults, going in, purchasing kratom. You can get it right on the counter at the liquor store or the gas station. I mean, I went down to Metro Detroit. Some of you reporters live in Metro Detroit. I go to the gas station in Metro Detroit, and they built big signs. They're like this big, even in Grand Rapids, and they say kratom, buy your kratom here. And you go there, and it's very dangerous stuff, and people take it. There's no medical guidance as they're taking it, and then they get killed because they're taking stuff that interacts with other drugs improperly. They're taking stuff that is a highly dangerous opioid, and they're dying. This is one of the top things that I hear from our police chiefs across the state, and particularly in Southeast Michigan, that they're struggling with the kratom. It's getting into the schools. It's causing problems there. It's causing many deaths and illnesses across our state. And as Cam noted, many of the deaths it's creating are not even tracked because they register as other kind of deaths, not kratom deaths. It's my understanding that some of the traditional tests don't necessarily detect this. So it seems like it's a much bigger problem, but if you talk to police chiefs and law enforcement, this is a growing problem. So I don't know if there's more you want to add, Patty, to that. But for that reason, we're outright banning it, something that I mentioned 8 other states do: Alabama, Arkansas, Indiana, Wisconsin, Rhode Island, Vermont, and Connecticut outright ban it. Our outright ban is a little different in that if the FDA saw a useful purpose for it, it could be, prescribed for that purpose. But that's not the case right now, and we make it a misdemeanor, which you guys will have to. Maybe Cam knows the details of that for the use, for the sale. For the sale. So we're putting the punishment on the sellers. That would also include people that import into the state, online sales. We would create the punishment there for the sale of that. You can clarify anything I said there. Is there anything you want to clarify on that?
I believe it's up to a year.
Up to a year. Yeah. You want to just talk a little more about the way that what kratom does and why what we were
natural.
Yeah.
So when you talk about kratom and the dangers of kratom, it isn't just that simple. It's also the addictiveness of kratom. So all kratom, within about a 2-week period, scientifically, they're showing that it is not if, it is when you are going to become addicted. So is it our place to sell something in a store where we manage addiction? Because what if the people that walk in the store and pick kratom up for the first time and start using it recreationally, and there's no label, there's no dosing, there's nothing in there to tell them how to use it. And what it doesn't tell you is that your body, no matter what you take and what form you take it in, is going to naturally metabolize itself as 7-hydroxymetragenine. This is a proven alkaloid that is working in your opioid receptor of your brain. So you will become addicted to kratom. Having said that, again, I go back to, is it our place to put something on a shelf that we know we're knowingly addicting people to that substance? And I think that Michigan moved today to push the pause button and actually leave it to the FDA to make that decision, which is where I feel personally it should be all along. It should be a federal ban or a federal question as to the efficacy of kratom and what it should be used for. I sympathize, again, with people who may be losing something that they feel is very helpful in their pain management. But again, pain management does not belong in a gas station. And that's my feelings.
Wow.
Well said.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Regarding the award yesterday, there was a lot of skepticism around town. Anyone I spoke with was aware of this organization. Can you address that skepticism?
Yeah, well, I've received many awards, and they're all there. And you guys should take a picture because you don't cover any of the awards, the press. Now, they won't even admit I'm the newsmaker of the year. the Cranes Newsmaker of the Year. So I've won many awards. You guys know that. You never cover it. I'm very appreciative of the fact that this group of people who care a lot about accountability and transparency are notifying me that I'm receiving this award. So I'm very grateful to that. I know a lot of you in the press didn't want me to receive an award, so you're probably upset. But I wouldn't take away from the other organizations that are giving awards. And I think you should cover all the awards we get.
Jackass of the Year.
And I'm grateful for all of them. So, any other questions? Of course it's real. I mean, just like we get contacted by organizations, they contact me, and we're grateful. I mean, you guys know I am the leader in ethics, accountability, and transparency. I mean, I authored the law, HEAT, the Hall Ethics, Accountability, and Transparency Plan. I just wish that, every week we come up here, we win awards, and I wish you guys would cover them, but you don't. I'm appreciative that this
He's on
one
his
is receiving
soapbox.
so much attention.
Yeah,
but,
what the hell?
they reached out to us, we received the award, or we got the notification. I read it to you guys up here. I stood up here and read the
Oh,
letter.
come on, bro.
And I'm looking forward to receiving it from them. I know a lot of you guys are part of the Michigan Press Association, which doesn't want me to receive an award. Maybe that's what's driving this, I don't know.
I don't think you should get an award either.
But I do think that, when we receive the
Jackass
award,
of
we'll
the
bring
Year.
it. And when we address the group, I'll be sure to share with them my appreciation for the fact that they picked me. But I understand why they picked me. I mean, HEAT, right? I mean, we're putting budget transparency in place, something that is a lot of you wrote about the need for, but won't give me the credit when I got it done. So I don't know. I wish you guys had more things to cover, like all the other awards I received, but hopefully you at least cover what the organization said, which is that I've led the way on ethics, accountability, and transparency. So anything else on Kratom?
If you
Because
did,
I've
you
got
wouldn't
my
be having
fellow
this
town
press
hall.
release about Kratom.
Yeah.
Nobody testified.
Well, the lobbyists for, you'd be surprised, these different Kratom groups have lobbyists.
Oh, God, here we go.
And the lobbyists, they're registered, but it's an amazing thing. There's some people that make a lot of money off of Kratom, poisoning our kids. And one of the reasons why I think the right way to go is to ban it is because what these different Kratom groups are doing is they're saying that if you ban some of the bad Kratom, and then you create a regulatory structure to legitimize Kratom, all right? And where there's a disagreement is, I don't think we should legitimize Kratom. There is no FDA-approved benefit to Kratom. You hear these anecdotal things, but you also heard Patty talk about
Her
how,
story's anecdotal.
this is very addictive, even when you get it in the leaf form. So as long as there is no
Addicted by
actual
apple.
benefit to Kratom, I don't see why we shouldn't ban it. And that's why we're banning it, rather than legitimizing it through a regulatory structure that legitimizes it, and then gives people this, this belief that the government endorses it and it's okay to take Kratom and there's benefits.
Alcohol,
That's why we
cigarettes.
want to just ban it completely and join these other states. Yeah, I agree.
She's an alcoholic, by the way. Go check out her
What'd you
Facebook
say?
posts.
Anything you guys want to say? I can answer. Yeah, I think the people opposing it are the ones that make the Kratom,
Bullshit.
or the ones that sell the Kratom.
Nope.
No,
We're
no.
not- that are saved
I
by
understand you make
Kratom
a lot of
every
money
day.
selling Kratom, but as Patty said, it's addictive whether you, no matter what kind you get, whether it's the
shut
synthetic,
up.
highly concentrated kind, or the other kind. And I'll just point out, you remember we went through this with the bath salts, and we went through this with the what did they call that? The synthetic marijuana?
Spice.
Yeah, you remember that? So the synthetic marijuana, you ban one kind of it, and then as soon as you ban it, they create another kind of it. You know, and they keep creating other kinds of it.
You just,
And so you've got that issue on the synthetic side, and then again, when we looked at the non-synthetic side,
just contradicted
we were trying
yourself.
to figure out, is there any actual legitimate benefit or use for this? And we can't find any. And in fact, it's very addictive, and
We
actually.
can't find any.
I know, Patty, you know of cases where the natural leaf kratom kills people.
no.
And you've
Oh,
talked to
God.
people who've had kids lost through the natural kratom as well, so, yeah, so,
Patty,
so you know
alcohol
what I
kills
mean? So
people. I
again, this
suggest
is one of
you
those
start
things
getting
where you
off
come
that
up
shit
here,
now.
people pay high-powered lobbyists to make arguments that don't make sense, and I think that the
Dude, his whole
Democrats
thing ain't made sense.
made a mistake today, because again, the right thing to do is to ban the kratom,
Nope.
get this off the streets, and
Nope.
if the FDA finds a use for it, then it'll be regulated and legal for that use. But that has not happened. Yeah, go ahead, Cam.
They didn't allow nobody to testify.
To answer your question, there's a certain smoke shop in this state that has 300 locations, and
How
they
many
stand to
liquor
make
stores
millions
is in
off.
that
They make
state?
millions off the sale of kratom, and they're behind a lot of the lobbying efforts.
I do want to add one more thing too, because I think that something that struck me as staggering when I was producing the film, again, that film is looking for a streamer right now, so I am open to showing it to legislators.
I told
In
y'all.
the fall, I was starting a college tour. Because just imagine all the 18-year-olds, freshmen that are going to college and they're looking to party. They're not old enough to drink, and they're looking for a supplement. And they're going to walk into a gas station and potentially purchase kratom, not knowing how addictive it is, or hearing that it is, but thinking that maybe it isn't, you know?
Aren't they supposed to be 21?
But
Yeah.
a number that is pretty staggering is that in 2022, at the time of Wyatt's death, there was an estimated 1.8 million users. At the close of 25, when the movie completed, there were 28 million. Do we have the luxury of waiting another 3 years before we actually do something to wake up the conversation? Again, this move today is a very powerful move to create better conversation. If not in Michigan, in other states, or as well as Michigan and other states as well. We need to open up honest conversation that does involve proper labeling, informed consent.
That's
and
regulations.
awareness. Those are issues that should be in place before you put a product on the shelf. Again, is there anything else that I can answer? I'm open to this. I was completely unprepared. I had no idea
I bet
that I
she
was going to be
sweats
doing this
alcohol.
today, and I was
Yeah, she had no idea.
really
Whatever.
emotional on the floor. I just wanted to say over and over again that this was not a political issue.
Yes, it
It
was.
is not. It is a bipartisan issue. This topic should have been open to every Democrat that was voting, every Republican that was voting. My heart just stopped when I saw every Democrat vote no. I
You're
did
making
not
it political
understand
now.
that. I
Yeah.
really did not, because it is not a political issue.
So they had a vote today?
Yeah,
Protecting our kids should
it
be
went
a
straight to the
partisan
floor.
issue,
No
and, I
testimony.
think that's everything for today. So thank you, everyone, for covering this issue. I appreciate that. Thank you.
How is that legal?
How is it legal? I don't know.